what Down2Talk is. We're not Down to Talk for no reason.
We really want to share this message, get this out there, because again, this doesn't get talked about enough. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Tony.
I'm King K.
And this is Down2Talk.
Yes, sir.
So this week we have a very, very special episode. We're going to be talking about health and mental illness. It's a huge topic, bro. Honestly, don't think it's talked about enough. So honestly, we're going to just kind of get to the root and break down what it is, how we deal with it, and just kind of go from there. So we also have a special guest, and his name is Aston. What's going on, bro?
Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.
No problem. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, man?
My name is Aston Minchin. I was born in Boston. Lived in Houston pretty much my whole life.
Okay.
I love the game of basketball. I love fitness. Regular guy. And that's why I think this topic of mental health is just so important, because there's no diagnosis, there's no specific person that suffers from mental health. It can literally affect anybody and everybody. So it's just really important that we just bring this subject to light and keep the conversation going about it.
Right. Facts. I think mental health is a very sensitive subject, so we're just gonna dive right into it. So, Austin, how can you tell when somebody is being attacked by mental issues?
I think that's just the really difficult part about it is it's in your head, it's mental, and that's just the root cause of it. Just you can't see someone that's suffering inside. It's not like a cut on the outside. It's not like someone who looks sick. It's someone that, like I said myself, I've suffered with mental health for a long time, and I smile all the time. And people would tell you that I'm a violent person, so they would never know like Austin is dealing with demons inside his head, or he's dealing with adversity every single day. Like it can literally affect anybody and everybody. And so I think it's just really one of those dangerous things where you really don't know what someone's dealing with on the inside. And I've had friends that have lost their life to mental health, and they've taken their own life because they simply just didn't feel like anybody could understand, and that no one was in their corner. So that's why it's just so dangerous, and that's why we got to continue to talk about it.
It is honestly, because like you were saying, it's very dangerous because you don't really know what somebody's going on inside of them. They could be going on and having episodes and be depressed and like you said, have like a smile on the outside. So you never really know what's going on the inside with somebody else. So that's why it's really important to kind of reach out and to talk to people that not always acting different, but just to keep up with them. Just a simple text, just a simple what's going on, how you doing, how's everything been going, like that's a little bit goes a long way when it comes to this category.
But I kind of feel like different, because I can always tell that somebody's going through mental illness, because like say for instance, you like normally talk to somebody every day, and all of a sudden their conversations are short, their answers are short, and like you get around them, like you feel this like aura, you know what I'm saying? It kind of like triggers like, hey, this person's not acting the same, you know what I'm saying? And that's some of the things like, you can just kind of tell somebody's going through a depression or something like that, because you be with that person all the time, and just they're just acting funny, like their aura is just off. They're looking down, or they all the time. You know what I'm saying? Those are some of the signs of mental illness.
I definitely agree. Again, people you deal with on a day-to-day basis, you can tell. There's people. It's just like he's usually he's real happy, he's real talkative, but this week he hasn't been. He hasn't really been talking much. He's been keeping to himself, and sometimes that can even be, if you address it, that could cause that person to regress and get irritated and try to even fall back even further. So
that's true.
It's just such a delicate subject that because you don't want to just overtly go and talk to somebody about it, because that might set them off. They might think in their mind, well, maybe I've been showing this depression too much. And we've been trained so much as men to hide our emotions and to hide if there's some kind of deficiency or if there's something wrong with us. So that might say, well, let me just put on a facade, put on a fake face, just so no one asks me, or I don't appear weak to my fellow
man
friends.
up.
Exactly. So
I hate that.
It's just really tough to deal with, and it's a really delicate subject.
Yeah. Well, that kind of plays into the next question. What are some of personal experiences that you guys have dealt with when it comes to mental illness?
For me personally, it's funny when people ask me, what made you depressed? What made you get these feelings of anxiety, or what, caused this? And that's the frustrating part for myself, that I still, even to this day, I've talked to most people, I've talked to my mother, I've talked to my friends, and I still don't know what specifically caused, these feelings of depression or anxiety in my head. And that's just a really frustrating part, because you want to cure it. You don't want to, no one wants to be depressed. No one wants to have, anxiety or anything like that. So it was just really tough for me for a long time. And I've had deep, dark moments. I've hit rock bottom a few times in my life. And it's really tough, because, there have been times where, I've sat, alone in a dark room, and it's just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And so, one of the difficult things for me just personally was the conversation I had with my mother, and I'll never forget it, was, I told my mother, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. And in my head, I always figured there was going to be some magical voice to tell me, no, Austin, don't do this. You have so much to live for. I always thought it was going to be like a movie scene, like someone's going to come rescue me and save me. But that never happened. And so the hard part for me was accepting, if you don't want to be on this earth anymore, no one's going to stop you. You choose to end your life, that's your choice. And so that was just really hard for me to accept. And it was just really hard for me to move on from that, because that added to the depression, because damn, no one really cares if I were to end my life, or if I wasn't on this earth anymore. So that was just really tough for me. So that's why I just encourage anybody and everybody, if you even think, someone is dealing with something, just try to be a light in someone's life, because you really don't know what's going on with that is.
And I think for me, we all know life brings ups and downs. But for me, was, facing time in prison. That was a big turning point of my life. It was like I was looking into a glass and it fell and it shattered. That's the way that impact, that situation hit my life. And I'm like you, I'm sitting in a dark room, my life is over, my life is done, and I was in that room fighting demons, mentally. Every day, your life is over. You ain't gonna never do this, you're not gonna never do that, you're not gonna be this, you're not gonna be that. And I have to fight that every single day. And honestly, I'm still fighting it to this day. It's not all peaches and cream sometimes, but God brought me through that situation. Facing time like that, how can you prepare for that? You just can't do it. Especially for me, from my background, I've never been in trouble. I never, did anything. I was not cut from that cloth. So for me to experience that broke me down all the way to the ground. And that was the worst experience. But trying to fight through it, trying to come back from it, and that's just life, man. How can mental illness cause harm or death?
I think we both just said, when you wake up after fighting a battle day after day after day after day, and then everyone around you is just keep pushing, keep pushing. We're all humans. We don't have just infinite amounts of energy. Eventually, it's gonna run out, and eventually you get tired of pushing. And so many people every single day suffer, and they're tired of pushing. And it's not because they're crazy. It's not because they're not strong. It's because they're tired of being strong for so long. And so eventually people just come to the realization I just want peace. I just want to be away from this. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And so unfortunately people just don't have the outlet, and they choose to take their own life. And it's unfortunate, because I just feel like it's so avoidable. Because even one of my friends who took his own life, I feel like the last day I saw him, maybe I should have said something. Maybe I should have just said, hey, have a nice night, or I'll see you tomorrow. And that small little statement, he might still be here today. And I can't think about it like that, because that's just how life works sometimes, but it's still in the back of my mind, could I have done something? And that's why I operate every single day now with the just mindset of, let me try to make someone else's day just a slight bit easier. If I can just make someone slightly smile, or maybe just enhance someone's life or prolong someone's life, even if it's just for a day. I'm doing my job as a human being on this earth. And that's just one of the purposes I think God gave me, was just to be a small sliver of light in someone's life. And I just take great pride in that.
Well, what do you normally do to combat that in yourself?
For me personally, like I said, I still don't know every answer. I don't have all the answers for it. For me, I love basketball. I don't know if God has put me on this earth to play basketball, but that's what I love to do, and that's what keeps me going every single day. That's one of the things that keeps me going every day. I love fitness, so I love going to the gym. I love seeing progress. And so those are some of the things that I do to just keep my mind away from those negative thoughts and those depressing thoughts. It's a constant battle. Like you were saying, it's day after day after day. It doesn't never just go away. But what you can do is just surround yourself with people that care about you, that want to see you do better. And it gets easy. It gets a little bit easier. When you have that support system, when you find things in life that give you joy, like I said, it never goes away. Because, you could have 3-4 months with no depressing thoughts, and then one small thing can trigger you, and you're right back into that, depression, and right back having those demons in your head. So, it's just about constantly working, constantly improving yourself, and just constantly looking to stay better, and just knowing that God has put you on this earth for a purpose. And I know God has put me on this earth to do great things, and like I said, it would just be a failure for me to let him down now. So I should just keep going because of that.
For sure. We all know life brings us ups and downs. So it's a saying, knowing is always half the battle. Like, if we know 9 times out of 10 in a negative situation that our mind is going to be against us, regardless, 90%, what is that other 10% saying? Keep going. Don't stop. You know what I'm saying? You can do this. And I take that 10% and run with it. You know what I mean? That's getting out, going to the gym, working out, calling a friend. You know what I'm saying? Just being active, trying to stay away from that dark place. And, going to church, praying. Those are the type of things that I've used to release from mental stress and mental illness. And it's okay to get help. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, Black people. It's okay. It's okay to get help. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to go see somebody. I had to go see a counselor. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Edmond, I know his name. So it's okay to get help, and that's how you release from that lock.
And just to go off of what you just said, I've gone to counseling also. And just because you have mental stress, mental illness, it doesn't make you weak, it doesn't make you crazy. Everyone in this world has a mind, and that mind is capable of amazing things, but it can also be a detriment to you, because it can also just overpower you and overwhelm you, and it's okay to get overwhelmed. Life is difficult, life is hard, it is not supposed to be easy, especially if you want to be great. If you want to be great in life, no one in this world got great by being just average, and no one got great in this world just by going through easy street. I mean, you can say some people did, but I guarantee you, celebrities all the time, you see celebrities killing themselves all the time, because everyone has their own demons that they're fighting. No one in this life has just no demons in their life. And so it's just really important, like you said, if you are going through something, to get help, ignore the stigma, because everyone has a demon that they're battling right now.
That's honestly one of the best things you can do is to look out and to connect with somebody and to try to feel that you're not alone in this. So that's one of the messages that we have for you is, if you feel like either it's you that's battling through this or there's somebody that's close to you that's going through something like that, don't be afraid to reach out to them. Don't be afraid to reach out to other people if you need it. This is definitely one of those categories that needs to be talked about a lot more. It's almost taboo that people don't talk about this, and that's part of the reason why it's as big of an issue as it is. I believe it's important. It's really important because it's unseen. It's one of those things that you don't get a chance to see. You see the signs, you see the outcome, the reactions, but you don't see what people go through. You don't get to experience that, and that's where the issues are. So get out there, speak up, send a text to your friends, check up on your peoples, let them know that they're not alone. Connect with everybody. Get a chance to be around people. You know, that's one of the basic foundational human needs. You know, it's connection. Don't be afraid to be that person, to be that light in somebody else's life, as he was saying.
This is what Down2Talk is for. You know, yeah, we do performances. Yeah, we go out and go to barbershops and stuff like that. But this is what really Down2Talk is. If you have anything that's burdening you mentally, feel free to contact us. You know what I'm saying? DM us. This is what Down2Talk is. We're not down to talk for no reason. Feel free. Like, we're here.
And we want to really appreciate you guys for joining us today for this episode, because again, this doesn't get talked about enough. We really want to share this message, get this out there. Please share this video, get it out to the next person who feel like this could benefit. So that about wraps everything up for this episode for this week. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below so you can get notified for any future videos that we discuss. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Catch us next week or the week after. This is
Down2Talk.